Khan. So first and foremost, I want to say call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem wa Malak Shai. That's all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God and His only begotten Son name, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, the King. Real name Yahweh Shai Mashiach, man. Right. So, hey, man, another thing I want to do, right, is give a good, strong salute, man, and power to the people of Israel, serving the Most High to the absolute fullest, right, to the absolute best of their ability, man, being obedient in all things, trying to bring forth the kingdom and laboring in his ministry, man. Shalom to the Akim, Akwathium, right, that put their hand to the plow and have not removed since, man. Shalom. Shalom to the obedient children out there listening to the instructions of thy father and thy mother, right, and being obedient to elders, right, and working with their hands, right? Because the children and the women is just as important as the men, man. Without y'all, right, we have no backbone. The family structure is the backbone of a nation, right? So I've been seeing some things like moving around, in the Hebrew Israelite community, and I kind of just want to touch on it a little bit, right, through the spirit. Not really gonna put names out there or nothing like that, right? But I just want to kind of go into it a little bit of how are we supposed to be acting right now, man. We're way too close to the end, right, to be dealing with Mishigash, right, within the nation, right? We should be trying to build one another up and make ourselves a living sacrifice, right, for Yahushua, let alone when we do that for our brother, we doing it for our, Yahushua, right? So key point, make your body a living sacrifice. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna turn on another light. Give me. That might be a little better. Yeah. So I was getting tired of seeing the darkness around my eyes. But let's get it, man. I'm gonna get two opening precepts, man, and we're gonna kind of get into it. This is the book of Psalms, right? Chapter 133 and verse number 1 on down. Uh, right here. It says, "Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garment." So his beard went down to the skirt of his garment, "as the dew of Hermon," right? A very misty place because of the rivers and the waters that surround that area, "and as the dew that descends upon the mountains of Zion, for there Yahweh commanded the blessing, even life forevermore." Right? So as we see, man, it's a beautiful and pleasant thing for brothers to dwell together in unity, man. And when discrepancies happen, right, that's when you need to remember that you have that ointment, man. You have that eye salve, right? You could see things differently eventually. So in the moment, right, try to be a peacemaker. Try to have peace, right? So let me get that right quick, and then I'll get my next precept. So we're gonna get into Matthew chapter 5, right? Just to get something on that, because that's why it's beautiful to make peace. Because when you make peace, you could visit the situation again without hurting more and more feelings, right? So as brothers, we dwell together in unity, and when we get anointed into this truth, there's certain ways that we have to operate with our brethren, man, right? And we should never want to depart from our brotherhood, man, right? It should hurt. It should really vex you, right? And it's gonna vex outsiders, right? To where other people is hurt that you moving around or moving from camp to camp, man. Right? So we need to understand this thing, man, because when certain altercations happen, one of y'all have to become the peacemaker. Whether that be you getting you removing yourself from the situation, right, or mentally you detaching from your feelings and being able to fully hear a brother out, so you could comment in the right manner and try to calm that brother down, right? So it's always a way with us being brothers, dwelling in unity together, and that being a pleasant thing, right? We have to watch our spirit, safeguard our mouth, and then try to gain or capture the evil spirits that's in our brother. So that way we could bring him back to life, right? If y'all can understand, I know that's kind of spiritual, right? But if you can understand, you know what I'm talking about, right? So I want to get this quick precept. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, and verse number, let me see, 5 and verse number 9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of Yahweh, right? And we see that happening with Moses, man. We could go into Exodus, right, chapter 3, and after Moses slew the Egyptian, what happened? Right, hold on. Boom, boom, and then slew the Egyptian. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So, chapter 2, actually, Exodus chapter 2 and verse number 11. And it came to pass in those days, Moses was grown, that he went out unto his brethren and looked on their burdens, and he spied an Egyptian smiting a Hebrew, one of his brethren. And he looked this way and that way, and when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. And when he went out the second day, behold, two men of the Hebrews, right, strove together. And he said unto him that did the wrong, wherefore smitest thou thy fellow? And he said, who made thee a prince and a judge over us? And intendest thou to kill me as thou killest the Egyptian? Right. But at the end of the day, we see what Moses did. He went over there to make peace between him and his brother. Right. So sometimes you got to bring another brother into a conversation, right? Because you might be high headed at the time. You want to bring another brother into the conversation so he could be that peacemaker if you can't be, man. But every brother and sister need to in a strive to be that peacemaker in a complex situation, man. Right, to where you could kind of say, okay, well, look, brother, things kind of hot right now. You know what I mean? I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna go ahead and distance myself, right? And tomorrow we'll talk about it. Later on, we'll talk about it. An hour from now, we'll talk about it. You know, whatever the case may be, right? But as we see, Moses was called a friend of God, and he was trying to make peace with his brother, right? He slew the other nation, right? But he tried to make peace with his brethren, man, right? So, one more quick precept before I get into other precepts. Back to Matthew. All right, let's go back to Matthew chapter 5 and verse number 23. Yeah, verse number 23. If thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother hath an ought against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift. Right? So your gift, man, is prayer on the altar, right? Your gift, right, is teaching, right? This is your different ways to give a gift on the offering, man. Nowadays, man, praise, right? Obedience, right? So when you come to give your offerings to the Most High God, you go in the street teach and all these different things, right? Go reconcile with your brother first, man, before you go do them things. Because you could be in sin trying to teach the nations, and then you mess around and get confounded, right? Because you got a problem with a brother that you have yet to fix, right? So I bring that out, man, to say, man, you know, there been another division, right, in the kingdom of Yasharala. I'm pretty sure brothers and sisters done seen it, right? With the brothers that's in a mighty camp, man, called Sakari, right? And those brothers say no love lost and this, that, and the third, man. But Levi, Levi sounding a little different, right? Levi sounding a little different, right? And Lord willing, they could continue to heal the nation and bring people, together, right? So, and things like this happen, man. Things like this happen, man. I come from a different camp, a off branch of Sakari, right? Foundation of Righteousness, right? Under Officer Markai, right? And me and him had our disputations, man. And he ended up leaving me in Cali and taking off with his son and leaving to North Carolina, South Carolina. And I had to figure this thing out on my own as well, man. And we had problems together, disagreements and stuff like that. But just like, the split that we see and happen today, is no love lost. Is no love lost. I love that, brother. But and it's all for growth, man. Sometimes Yahweh will prune people from out of your life for you to grow more and more within his truth, man. Grow more and more within the spirit, right? So, all things could be working out for sure, right? All things do work out for the greater good of Yahweh Shem Shai. But all things could be working out for the greater good of those brothers as well. But I do want to say something to the nation, man. The nation, y'all always getting into gossip, man, and y'all tell bearing and y'all damn running back and forth, babbling, right, and trying to talk about another person business, right, when it don't even concern you, right? You're trying to hypothesize on what happened and all these different things, and yeah, we love brothers, man, and we want to see the best in brothers, and we want to know why brothers is not staying in their prospective camp, but at the end of the day, it's not your business. And for you to go out there and give your hypothesis to everybody, right? That's all. That's all. So, but it is a sad matter, man. But as a nation, man, we need to do better at containing what we got. Like, you got GMS, you got Believers of the Way, you got Sons of Zion, Lights of Zion, um, Sakari, IUIC. Everybody has their own perspective body that they need to be worried about building up instead of trying to make content off of somebody else's trials and tribulations and turmoil, man. Right? This is one thing that I don't like about certain brothers, man, that make videos, man. They take the new fad that came out, right? You got the Drake and them beef, right? Then you got the damn Diddy thing going on. Then you have what's going on with Sakari, man. Then you got what's going on with other perspective camps and new highlights that happen, and brothers always want to make a talking point on somebody else's pain, right? Instead of trying to heal the pain, right, of those brothers on the side, they go ahead and put out videos about brothers, man, right? And they're talking about, yeah, I seen that coming and this, that, and the third, man. You ain't see nothing, bro. Like, you ain't see nothing, man. Worry about you, your body, build yourself up, right, to be a better body, man. So you don't have to worry about a split within the kingdom, man, right? So I'm gonna get into a couple precepts, man, and I'm gonna leave y'all, with that. Lord willing, my big brother, man, Khalil get on here, right? So I'll be waiting on him. If he get on, we might stretch it a little bit longer. But I'm just gonna go through a couple precepts, man, for the family, right? So this is the book of Matthew, chapter 6, and verse number 33, and it reads. I'm gonna start at verse 32. It says for Matthew 6 and 32. For after all these things do the Gentiles I gotta start up. All right, verse 30. It says, wherefore, if the most high so clothe the grass of the field, which today is, and tomorrow is cast into the oven, shall he not much more clothe you, O ye of little faith? Therefore, take no thought, saying, what shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or wherewithal shall we be clothed? For after all these things do the Gentiles seek. right? For your heavenly Father knoweth that ye have need of all these things. But seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Take therefore no thought for tomorrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto this day is the evil thereof. So when you constantly looking forward to the next day, you commit evil, man. Right? Like working on the Shabbat, working on the new moon, right? Worrying about if you're gonna have enough food, not taking the diligence, right, to look at the packages and see what's bad on there and what's good, right? So there's many evils that come through worrying about tomorrow, right? But Yahushua said, focus on the kingdom, right? And everything else, right, is meaningless, right? And it becometh evil, man, right? And this scripture right here always cut me because I believe that we could do all things through Hamashiach Yahushua that strengthens us. And if we're going to serve him, we have to be fully obedient, right? And trust in him that he's going to save us out of all trials and tribulations, all struggle and turmoil, right? But I brought this out because you got a lot of brothers and sisters, they worrying about matters that don't even concern them, right? So with that, I'm going to get this precept, right? Verse Sirach chapter 7, no, chapter 11 and verse number 7. All right, let me see. Yeah, 11 and 7. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke, right? So you have a lot of brothers, man, coming with their hypothesis, right? Thinking on a matter that has nothing to do with them, man, right? Not taking the time to talk to brothers on the side to see, what's going on, right? And you got this happens a lot in the kingdom, man. And even on the outside, man, you go to work, right? And the people that you work with, right? They kind of ask you, what's your take on the boss, right? What's your take on the supervisor? And you got to try not to talk about these things, man. Well, the supervisor kind of like blah blah blah, the manager like whoop whoop whoop, and the owner is like dot dot dot. You feel what I'm saying? Don't do that, right? Because you don't even know what's going on in that person's life. You can't examine a person without knowing the truth, man. Get to know the brother, man. This is how therapy works, right? Therapists, they don't just say that, you don't just walk in there, say three sentences, and they break down your whole personality, your whole life. No, man, you go in there for session upon session upon session, and you get to know your therapist, right? And your therapist get to know you, right? So it's the same way with every matter that's established on earth, man. It says examine, right, the truth, understand first, and then show your correction, right? Verse 8. Answer not before thou hast heard the cause, neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk. Because if you interrupting a brother in the midst of his talk, you can't hear out the whole matter, right? But also for you brothers that like to make declarative statements in your talk, if you're gonna declare something, you have to let a brother defend that point, right? Like for instance, if I tell you, hey man, um, you ain't handled that the right way. You should have handled it this way because this, that, and the third. You can't do that, right? Because you telling me, you declaring that I should have handled something a certain way, and now I have to explain why I handled it that way. That's you getting the truth of the matter and establishing the matter, right? So you can't continue to build a point or a premise, right, until you let me say something on a declarative statement that you have made, right? You can't just walk right past that and rant for 10 minutes, right? You gotta let that brother hit a point when you hit a point. Yeah, you could have been more light with that brother because I saw that it could have been done better, and this is why, and this is how I would have did it. And what you hold on, brother, like you can't just move right past that, right? So it says, verse 8, answer not before thou hast heard the cause, neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk. Strive not in a matter that concerneth thee not, and sit not in judgment with sinners. Right? So we have to really hone into that, man. Strive not with matters that concerneth you not. Right? Don't try to figure something out. Don't get in an argument saying who's the best draft pick and y'all fighting back and forth, man. Don't get into the analytics or whatever's going on with different congregations or different churches, right? Don't strive in those matters, man, because they don't concern you, right? And then it says, don't sit in judgment, right, with sinners. Now you're trying to judge somebody and judge a matter that you don't even have no information on, right? So, like the scriptures tell you, man, it's better to hold your mouth with a bridle, right, than just constantly speak out of your belly, man, right? Loosely paraphrasing Proverbs, right? And we're gonna get something in Proverbs soon, but verse 10, my son, meddle not with many matters, for if thou meddle much, thou shalt not be innocent, and if thou follow after, thou shalt not obtain, neither shalt thou escape by flying. So when you meddling in different matters and you worried about everybody else's situation, you can you can't focus on yours, right? This is why as a body in K.O.Y, we have counsel with you, and then we let you do what you want to do, right? And then you come back to us and you'll say, I used your counsel, I didn't use your counsel, this is what happened, right? This is what didn't happen, right? And then you have a counsel again where you should have did this is how that should have happened. So next time try it like this, right? But we don't sit there and be on the step by step in your business, man, right? Because that matter, I can't meddle with a whole bunch of matters, man. Right? What matters to me is getting the kingdom. So I'm focused on me, my family, the brothers in the community of K.O.Y, the brothers in the nation, right? But everybody has their own respective counselors, man. Everybody have their own respective body that they hang with. I only could do so much, right? As a brother with wife and kids. This is why Paul was so fervent and on fire, is because he didn't have to deal with his own specific family. He deemed everybody else his family that he was teaching and raising up as children, man. So it was easier for him to say, okay, I'm going over here. I'm correcting this over here, right? But with us, man, we need to, it says, my son, meddle not with many matters, for if thou meddle much, thou shalt not be innocent. If thou, right, follow after, thou shalt not obtain. You'll never be able to fix everything, man. You'll never be able to fix everything. I know as a man, we're fixers, and that's what we want to do. Hey, y'all give me 1 second. I'm gonna get this in the GNT. I'm gonna get this in the GNT right quick, right? Oh, okay, I'm gonna get this in the GNT. Be patient with me. But yeah, man, you a meddle in a whole bunch of matters, right? And then you never have time, man, to get yourself together, man. Now you're not reading, you're not studying. Yeah, you're a good counselor, but now your counseling start going off because it's not backed by the scriptures, So we have to be cognitive about that, man, right? Because I think it says when you work too much and you don't have no leisure time, your thoughts start to diminish, right? Your obedience start to diminish, right? Your dedication start to diminish, Cause you doing too much for everybody and everything, man. So it's hard for you to stay on track. Right? Some brothers is like that coming right up into this truth, man, to where they can't even remember what they was about to say 20 seconds ago. Right? A lot of that got a lot to do with drugs, cigarette smoking, and a lot of excessive drinking and stuff like that. But a lot of times, man, it's just because you too busy, man. You're working all the time. You don't take the time to study. You don't take the time to come to camp, right? So you just start diminishing. Soon as you get in the truth, your first thing is you trying to be tough and do all of this, but you ain't even taking the time to study your Bible, man, right? But look, this is Iraq chapter 11 and verse number 10 in the GNT. My child, do not involve, it says, my child, do not get involved in too many things. If you try to do too much, you will suffer for it. You won't be able to finish your work and you won't be able to get away from it either. You see what I'm saying? So you get all jammed up in other people's business, right? Now it's your fault when they should diminish, right? Salakia for my language. It's your fault, right? When everything they have is broken apart. You sitting here was trying to fix their thing, giving them good counsel. They took only a slight bit of your counsel and they did their own thing. They thing get destroyed, right? And they blaming it on you, man. Right? This is what it's talking about, right? It says, if you try to do too much, right? If you're in everybody's situation and you're doing too much, right? Trying to help everybody else out, you will suffer for it. You gonna suffer for it. You won't be able to finish your work, and you won't be able to get your own stuff done. You won't be able to get away from it either. They're gonna blame you for all their mishaps, man. Right? I even did that. I did that to my officer, man, Officer Marcotte, man. I blamed him for a lot of my mishaps, man. But at the end of the day, it was me, man. Like my brother Bayan said, he said, bro, I know what you're saying. Well, he didn't say it like that, right? This is how I took it because he's way, his explanation on things is rough, right? But he basically said, bro, you talking about what somebody else did to you that made you sin, right? But it wasn't them that made you do anything. You chose to do that. You chose to sin. You chose to go off. And it's like, damn, at the end of the day, right? I gotta bite that pill. I gotta swallow it. And when we do too much for everybody else, right, and we forget ourselves, man, our work start to diminish, right? Because you too stressed out on matters that didn't concern you that you put your hand in, right? So let's get one more. Verse 11 in the KJV. It says, there is one that laboreth and taketh pains and maketh haste and is so much more behind. So there's one that do a lot, man. You doing a lot for the kingdom. You putting forth your hand, you making videos, shaking the hand, all these things, man, but you're still behind, man. At home, you're lying in the house. At home, you don't give to your family, right? You're not giving alms, right? But you're doing all these other things, but you're missing the mark in so many different areas, right? That only you know of. So it says, there is one that laboreth and taketh pains and maketh haste, and is so much the more behind, man. Right? You'll get behind, man. Right? Trying to deal with everybody else's stuff, man. And thinking on everybody else's stuff, right? Not saying don't carry one another burdens, because the scriptures clearly tell us that, right? That is it's an honor, right, to bear one another's burdens. Matter of fact, let me get that right quick. Let me see. Yeah, it's an honor to be able to help brothers, man, and sisters. Right? Hold on. See if I can find what I'm looking for. So this is the book of Philippians, chapter 2 and verse number 4. And look out for one another's interests, not just for your own. The attitude you should have is the one of that Christ, Yahweh Shai, had. He always had the nurture of Yahweh, but he did not think that by force he should try to remain equal with Yahweh. Right? So as we see, man, it tells us what? Look out for one another's interests. Meaning bear your brother's burdens, man. Whatever burden that brother is carrying, help him lift it. Why not? Right? You're able. We're more than conquerors, right? Why not take the time to help a brother out, man? Right? Why not take the time to um make yourself that living sacrifice, man, to save a brother from death, man? Right? So let me get this next precept. First Timothy chapter 5 and verse number 13. Matter of fact, I'm gonna stay in the GNT just so we could get the best possible edification from it. This is the book of First Timothy chapter 5 and verse number, I believe I want 12, but hold on. And become no. Verse 13. They also learn to waste their time in going around from house to house. But even worse, they learn to be gossips, right? Gossipers and busybodies, talking of things they should not, right? So certain things, man, there's nothing to speak on about it, man, right? I was having a conversation with a brother yesterday, and I said, "Hey, bro, look, at this time, we only know what we heard, right? And let's just not talk anymore on it because we don't know. Nobody didn't say nothing specifically at this point. Brothers is guessing. Let's just yield right here so we don't get like the scripture tell you, man. If through much talking, man, you could enter into calamity, right? The Lord could judge you, man, from the things that come out of your mouth, man. Let alone for the things that you think, right? So I'm gonna get a couple more, man, and we're gonna get up out of here. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 11. Hold on, I'm gonna get it in the KJV. The book of Matthew, chapter 15, and verse number 11. And it reads, "Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of women," hold on, that ain't it. Salaki. That was Matthew 11 and 11. Salaki. But that was a beautiful precept, though. Matthew chapter 15, verse 11. And he called the multitude, and Salaki, verse 11. Not that which goeth unto the mouth defileth the man, but that which cometh out the mouth defileth the man. Then came his disciples and said unto him, Knowest thou that the Pharisees were offended after they heard this saying? But he answered and said, Every plant which my heavenly Father had not planted shall be rooted up. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into a ditch. Right? So the key point is verse 11, that which goeth into a man, that Matthew 15:11. Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth the man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth the man. Right? So it's not what goes in, man. It's not what you take in, right? Listen to a matter and tell a brother, like, yeah, I'm hearing you out, bro. Go ahead, vent it out. Right. But if you don't have the both of the parties, you can't really speak on too much, man. Right. So it's not that which goes into you, right? Because it's good to be that person that people vent to. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful character to have and hold secrets. That's a beautiful thing, right? But you don't want to let out something that you have no dealings with, right? So it says that which goeth in doesn't defile you. That you take in your brain doesn't defile you, but it's what your actions what comes out through your actions that defile you, which is your mouth or your doings, right? So when we see these different matters, man, we can't always speak on certain things, man. If you don't have both parties and the edification from both parties, you cannot, or all three parties, you cannot make an assumption on that matter, man. Right? Whether it be, oh, it was doctrine that split them up. Oh, it was, it was one person was smarter than the other person that broke them up, man. One person had more followers than another person. It was pride. It was this. It was that. You can't speak on a matter like that because that's just going to defile you, right? Be patient, right, and endure, because that's who's going to inherit the kingdom of God. So, right, let me get one in Romans. So check this out. This is a beautiful, beautiful precept in Romans. And we're going to read, this is Romans chapter 3. We're going to read Romans chapter 3 and verse number 13 to, no, 15 to verse number 18. Let me see. Romans 3 and verse number 15. Salaki, we're gonna start at 13 and read to verse, let's see what I got, 16. We're gonna read to verse 16. So it says, their throat is an open sepulcher, right? A sepulcher is somewhere where you put the dead, right? So it's their throat is an open sepulcher, right? It stinks, it's full of death, right? There's no life in it. You know, that's what Yahushua is saying. Their throat is as an open sepulcher. With their tongue, they have used deceits. The poison of ash is under their lips. Right. So you have all this death, destruction, and decay that comes out of your mouth, man. So a lot of times that's why you need to, right. Proverbs tell us, or Sirach, it tell us, if you don't have nothing good to say, cover your mouth with your hand, man. Right? So, because you want to say things that prosper, you don't want to give bad fruit from off of your lips, man. You want to say things that help instead of destroy, man. Right? Verse 14, whose mouth is full of cursing and bitterness, right? All you want to do is throw up curses on the heathen, man. All you want to do is throw up curses on your brother, man. Hope them to die, right? And bitterness, what is that? Making people feel like they're worthless, right? That they're a piece of garbage, right? You don't want to constantly be talking and making people feel like they're worth nothing, man. The whole point of us being in the Hebrew Israelite community, right, and practicing our ancient culture is to build up one another, man, and not to tear one another down, right? So the Lord is telling us, right, Yahushua is telling us through this these variable topics and parables, right? He's telling us how to operate with one another, man, right? So it says, verse 14, whose mouth is full of cursing and bitterness, their feet are swift to shed blood, right? Which our feet not swift to shed blood. Nobody, we don't want to hurt nobody, right? Until Yahushua give us that go ahead. But of our nation, we don't want to hurt nobody of our nation. Destruction and misery are in their ways, right? And the way of peace have they not known. There is no fear of Yahweh before their eyes, right? So when we see these different matters unfolding, man, we need to always remember to fear Yahweh, right? Fear Yahweh, love our brother, correct them with all long suffering, right? And be at peace with them afterwards, right? Because that's how we save our brother's soul from death, man, right? The book of James, chapter 4 and verse number, let me get it right quick. It's not talking about non-believers, man. The book of James, chapter 5, verse 19, or 4, verse 19 on down, it's not talking about non-believers. It's talking about believers, right? Hold on. So it says, okay, so this is the book of James, chapter 5, and verse number 19. Brethren, if any of you do err, right, or go off from the truth, and one converted him, right, one changes him back, let him know that he which covereth the Salaki, let him know that he which covereth the sinner, Salaki, converted the sinner from the error of his ways, from his going off, shall save a soul from death and shall hide a multitude of sin. This is not talking about a regular brother that we go teach up on the streets. We got a different precept for that, right? This is not it contextually. Now, do we bring this out and is it used, you know, are we gonna get some sins knocked off for waking up those brothers and sisters that's in darkness out there? Of course, right? But this is specifically talking about brothers in camps, man. Brothers that know the truth, brother that walk in the right ways according to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. When you correct those brothers and convert those brothers back unto the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you cover a multitude of sins, right? So we need to be hyper focused on correcting each other in this truth too, man, and not being so arrogant to not accept that correction, man. Right? Me, at first I used to hate correction, bro. I didn't like correction, man. Damn correction, man. Right? I look, man. I know what I'm doing, bro. Don't talk to me. Don't tell me nothing. This is what's going on in my my head the whole time I'm listening to the counsel, right? So I wasn't able to retain anything, right? But once I got beat up enough and the Lord whooped me enough, now I love correction, man. Right? I might not like it in the moment. I might have to tell myself to shut up, right? But I get it. I get correction now, right? So, but that's how we save ourselves from a multitude of sins is by correcting brothers within the truth, man, that know the faith, right? So, last precept, Proverbs chapter 30, chapter 21, and verse number 23. Right, I might start at 22. Let me see. Proverbs, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, and verse, let me see, verse number 21. He that followeth after righteousness and mercy he that followeth after righteousness and mercy. That means you giving mercy, right? Mercy, mercy me, man. When you want to go off on somebody and cuss them out and call them everything but a child of God, that's one good thing to say, man. Mercy, mercy me. It reminds you to have mercy on his brother or sister, right? He that followeth after righteousness findeth life, righteousness, and honor. A wise man scaleth the city of the mighty, right? He kind of looks at the city of the mighty, right? And cast down the strength of the confidence thereof, right? You show what type of spirit you coming in, man. Right? Confidence conquers fatigue and feebleness, right? So when you speak this doctrine and confidence, right, you're able to win souls, right? You're able to break down walls and bring your brother back into the captivity of Yahweh Shem Yahushua instead of into the captivity of Esau, Ishashua, right? The number of the beast, the name of the beast, and the mark of the beast. You're able to take that brother away from that, right, and bring him back into captivity under Yahushua. Verse 23, this is the point. Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue, right, keepeth his soul from troubles. Proud and haughty scorners is his name, who dealeth in proud wrath, right? So it says, whoso keepeth his mouth, his tongue, keepeth his soul from troubles, man. Right. So if you keep your mouth and your tongue, right, you don't have to worry about troubles, man, because the evil spirits, they watching what you say, right? All evil spirits can't hear your thoughts, man, right? They only attack you from the outside, right? Your Hashatan is the only one that could kind of get into your thoughts, man, right? And kind of move your thoughts, but he used it from the express of other people, right? So it says, right, right quick, I'm gonna read it again. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 23. Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his souls from troubles. When these spirits hear what you say out of your mouth, they could use it to your destruction and to your detriment. Right? This what this brother said. Right? This what that brother said. Right? And then now y'all got contentions all because you couldn't keep your damn mouth closed, man. Right? So it's good because I could go into Proverbs 16 and verse number 18, I believe it is, or 16:13, and tells you, man, the mouth, the lips cause for strokes, man. That's why it's telling you, man, if you safeguard your mouth, you won't have to worry about the afflictions that come from without, right? Because all your afflictions would be handled within, right? You could trouble yourself and correct yourself before you have to worry about being corrected by anybody else, right? So make sure you safeguard your mouth, man, right? Because your mouth is what's going to destroy you, man, right? And then it says what? Because this is what happened when you just speak out of turn and you speaking and you don't know what's going on in the matter. This is what it is. Proud and haughty scorner. You are proud and a haughty scorner when you can't shut the hell up, man. Right? And you have to utter everything that's on your mind, man. You're a proud and haughty scorner, man. So you have to watch that, man. What is the scorning? A person that always talking while somebody else is talking. A person that comes in front of you and try to dispel what you're saying just by words and not by anything to back it up, like the scriptures or facts of any type of anywhere else, right? So it says, a proud and haughty scorner is his name, who dealeth in proud wrath, right? So, and that proud wrath comes from your mouth, man, comes from your lips, man. The meek and the lowly, right? They're quiet, man. When they do their business, when they give alms, right? They try to tuck it to the side, like, here, that's for you, you know what I mean? So we got a group chat. We got a group chat in the camp, man. And sometimes I fall on hard times, right? I ask brothers from the chat, if they can help me out, right? The real humble brothers, they don't even say nothing else in the chat. They text me on DM. Hey, I got you. All right? That is in your thing right now. And then I gotta let him know all praises. And then I go back into the chat and what I say, hey, brother took care of me. I don't say no name, no nothing. That's humble and that's meek, man. Right. But the proud, right? And this is the spirit that we gotta watch out for. The proud to say it in the group. Hey, look, I took care of you. All praise to the Most High. Hey, hold on. You know what I mean? Let's watch that because it could be borderline, right? So, but it's telling us a person that don't keep his mouth, right? He gonna get his soul into some trouble, and he's being proud and haughty. Also, a scorner is his name, who dealeth in proud wrath. So eventually, destruction gonna come from that, right? But with that, man, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the water for all the people that came into the chat, man. The water, ha, hold on, I'm gonna get it. Hanaya, right? Hanahaya. Hey, man, the water for coming in, man, and showing that love, right? And the water for all the brothers and sisters that will check out this video. And Lord willing, it gives you some tips on how to just shut up, right? Or I'm gonna be nice and say how to just be quiet and hear a matter all the way out, then express how you feel or what you think, right? So Lord willing, this video is beautiful and edifying in that sense. The stuff that's going on with the body of Sakari, right? Don't worry about it. Don't get all intertwined into it. Let those brothers deal with their own sacrifices, right? And gifts, and let them deal with their own problems, man. Give those brothers peace. Pray for those brothers, right? That everything work out exactly how Yahweh wanted to work out. Man, shalom to the family.